Hello everyone and welcome! Today's video breaks down the arm balance crow or Bakasana. And this is such a fun pose for building confidence in what your amazing body is capable of doing in your yoga practice. So first we'll start off with a few essential warm-ups. Very important to consider your wrists. Start by circling your wrists, wiggling the fingers or flexing your palms up and down. And then come forward onto the hands and knees. Palms flat on the mat, fingers forward. Shift your weight forward and backward gently and slowly. You can control how much pressure is being placed on the wrists. Remember, in our arm balances, all of our weight is into our hands. Now rotate the wrists, fingers pointing to the outside edges of your mat. Rock back and forth, left to right. As always, you're controlling the motions. Now bring the wrists together, fingers pointing out. Continue to rock or sway back and forth. Flip onto the backs of your hands with the palms up, fingers pointed towards the knees. Yowzers. Yeah, I know that one can be really sensitive. Just remember though, you control how much weight is being pressed into the hands. Now switch directions with the fingers forward and the palms facing up. Release, circle the wrists out, and come sitting down on your mat. So crow requires solid core strength. You'll want to think about knitting your bottom ribs to your frontal hip bones, rounding, flexing your back as you press the hands firmly into the mat. Start this exercise by lying down on your back. You'll create the shape of crow on your back. Bring the soles of your feet together and draw your knees high into your rib cage. You'll want to bring your knee as far up the arm as you can. Press the hands out, bring your head and shoulders off the mat, and actively press your hands into the air as if you were pressing into the mat. Engage your core to draw your knees up even higher. You gotta breathe and release. So we'll do that one more time. Press into the air, shoulders and head off of the mat, knees in. Sometimes I grab my feet, cheat a little bit. Pull those knees in and breathe. Release here. Take a moment to windshield wiper the knees back and forth. You can take a couple more rounds of that core exercise or make your way into Malasana, your squatting position. In this version of Malasana, you'll engage your adductor muscles by rooting down through your tailbone. Slide your arms down as far as you can and squeeze the knees around the outer upper arms. So engaging those adductor muscles are going to help you prevent from slipping out of the pose. Sometimes we get into the pose and then our knees slide off of our arms. This core engagement is going to help prevent that. Practice reaching the hands out and planting them into the mat and leaning forward for a little bit here. Another thing to remember is not to allow the elbows to splay out. We'll use a block for this next practice. So bring the block out in front of you. You'll bring your forehead towards the block. Get into your Malasana, firm the knees to outer arms, spread your fingertips wide, and plant them into the mat. Lift your hips, begin to lean your weight far forward. You might have to adjust the block. Maybe one foot lifts off the mat, Maybe the other foot lifts. Maybe both feet lift. Elbows are drawing in. Core is engaged. And release. Maybe take a moment in your Malasana. If you want to move forward, we'll try crow now with a block under the feet. So bring your feet onto blocks, heels and toes together. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. Plant your hands into the mat. Lean your weight forward. Elbows bend, but they're drawing in and they're not splaying out. You can practice alternating, lifting one foot off of the block and then the other, or maybe both. I never look behind me. I'm always looking slightly towards the front of my mat without arching my neck. So finally, a few things to remember. Spread your fingertips wide. Push firmly into the mat. Flex the spine. Engage your lats, your core. Use a block. And if you're really concerned about face planting, use a pillow. Thank you for joining me for our little breakdown of crow. Namaste.